I grew up in the church, and my parents are pastors of a church, actually. So I've always done everything in the church, and I really got to see the good side of the church and really just the bad side of the church as well. And I got saved when I was 4, but I didn't really understand what that meant. And in middle school, I started having a lot of doubts about God. People in the church had really betrayed me, and I had just seen people fall. And whenever someone would leave the church, one of my friends would leave the church, I remember being devastated and just felt it as a personal attack because, I don't know, I just took it really personal why they would leave. And I had a lot of doubts. I saw a lot of hypocrisy in the church, and it made me wonder if God was really real. And I became depressed. I felt so alone, and I remember just crying every night for a month and just wondering and crying out to God, wondering, God, if you're real, then why don't I feel you? Why don't I hear you? I don't know you're real. And I would just cry every day for like months and months, and I started having thoughts of suicide, and I really just wanted to end my life. And every time I would just see like a knife or just a cliff or something, I would just think, gosh, I could end it right now if I wanted to. But the fear of going to hell kind of scared me away from that. And even though I wasn't sure if I believed in God, I kind of didn't want to take the risk and end up in hell. So I kind of just kept holding on. And so I even started cutting myself and physically hurting myself because I was just so depressed. And I didn't understand why I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel love in my family. Like, my family would say they loved me, but I didn't feel it at all. And my friends, I felt like I had no friends. I could be surrounded by people and still feel so alone. I got closer to God at a summer camp in Oklahoma. And I remember for the first time in my life, I really just felt God's presence. And I remember I cried on the floor on my knees for 2 hours because God's presence was just so strong. And I rededicated my life to God. And even at the summer camp, the speaker said that someone's destiny is going to be changed because of the summer camp. And I remember thinking, oh, it's not me. Like, looking around, like, I'm a pastor's daughter or whatever. Like, I know who God is, but I didn't really know who God was. But I really believe that because of that summer, that was a prophecy for me. God freed me from depression, and I remember going to high school the next year, and people just saw a difference in me. I remember this one guy even told me, wow, you look so different, you look so happy now, and it was totally just God. And fast forward, my first year of college, I had always, because of the hypocrisy in the church and the hypocrisy I had seen in my family, I didn't have role models with family or friends like other people do. I really saw role models in celebrities, and I had this idea that I just wanted to be famous and I wanted to be rich, and I literally like made fame and fortune into my idols. And I thought anyone who lived in El Paso was lame and they needed to get out and get a life. I don't even know why I thought that, but that's what I thought. So I moved to California. I went to the Bible Institute of Los Angeles in California, and I started studying film. And while I was there, I really just felt God call me to come back to El Paso and to help out my church. And I remember I would say to God, God, I will go anywhere you want me to go. I will go to a hut in Africa and I will help starving children there, but just not call me to El Paso. But God has a sense of humor, apparently, and I really just felt called to go back, and I fought. I felt like Jonah going to Nineveh. I was just like, I don't want to go. I'm gonna run away. And I remember crying and begging God to change his mind. But I've never felt a calling like that. It was so deep in my spirit, and it was such a passion. Like, God was saying, if you really want to surrender your life to me, you need to go back to your church and you need to help out your church. And so this past summer, I left my dreams of California, of becoming rich and becoming famous, and I left all my desires and my friends, and I went to my church. And ever since I've been here, like, God has been opening doors just left and right. He's literally transformed my heart. I used to hate El Paso and like Las Cruces, and I just thought it was so lame because it was like a desert. It was the desert. But while I've been here, God has shown me that He's faithful even in the desert. I got a job at my church, and I've made some great Christian friends here, and I got involved in crew and other campus ministries and just everything, and it's just been such a blessing. Like, I literally feel like God took the pen from my life and just started writing it on His own, and every day is something new. And I thought coming here was going to be a death sentence, but I've never been more fulfilled in my entire life. I feel like God has placed me where He wants me to be, and it's so rewarding. And for the first time in my life, I can actually say that I have surrendered my life to God, and now I just have such a desire to see El Paso and Las Cruces just have that same desire I have for God, and I just want to bring revival to the city. I'm Faith Brown. I'm a film major, and I'm from El Paso, Texas.